When you land in Kigali, the first thing you notice is not the hills, not the new grass towers, not even the warm smile of its people. It's the silence of something unusual, something that feels almost impossible in many cities around the world. The streets are spotless, no plastic bags flying in the wind, no trash pinning the corners. The roundabout bloom with flowers so neatly arranged. They look like they were painted into the landscape. Even their feels lighter, fresher. For the first time visitors, the shock is real, because this is not the image the world expects when they hear the words African capital. Across the globe, Africa is often painted with tight stereotypes of chaos, of dust, of neglect. But Kigali stands at the quiet rebellion against that narrative. It has become a city that whispers a different story, one of a discipline, pride, and a vision. It didn't happen overnight. This city, once scared by one of the darkest tragedies in modern history, has reinvented itself. From the ashes of 1994, Rwanda did not just build its home, it rebuilt its identity. At the heart of that rebirth, Kigali chose cleanliness as its new face to the world. Today, Kigali is celebrated internationally as the cleanest city in Africa, a place where global leaders gather, where investors feel safe, where tourists walk freely without fear of dust or waste. Some even argue it's among the cleanest cities in the world, not just on the continent. But here arises the real question you must ask. How did a city that was once broken by violence and grief rise to become a global symbol of order and cleanliness? And even more important, could this same system work in other African countries too? Or is Kigali's story unique to Rwanda? This is the story of a city that refused to fit the expectation of the world. This is the story of Kigali. Kigali transformation was not left to chance. It was designed, enforced, and protected by some of the strictest policies on the continent. In 2008, while the most of the world was still drowning in plastic waste, Rwanda made a decision that shocked even developed nations. A total ban on plastic bags. Supermarkets, traders, and travelers. No one was exempt. At Kigali International Airport, even today, your luggage is checked. Any plastic bag you bring in is confiscated. The message is clear. Plastic pollution will not be tolerated. But the fight for cleanliness didn't stop there. Rwanda introduced the health fund for littering. Throw a bottle on the street and you will pay. Dump waste in a wrong place and the law will catch up with you. In Kigali, rules are not lightened for decoration. They are lived and enforced daily. And then there is Umuganda. On the last Saturday of every month, the entire country slows down. Business closes, roads grow quiet, and from the richest neighborhood to the smallest village, people come out with brooms, hose, and gloves. Even the president himself joins. Together they sweep the street, plant trees, repair schools, and clean drainage channels. Umuganda is not just a cleanup day. It's a discipline turned into tradition. It reminds everyone that cleanliness is not the job of the government alone, but the duty of the community. What makes Kigali different is not only that the rules exist, but they're respected. The laws are strict, yes, but they are so embraced. They're a part of national identity, a silent agreement that says we will never go back to chaos. Order will be our way forward. This is why visitors often describe Kigali as clean by design, not by accident. Behind the spotless streets lies a culture of discipline, backed by government and afraid to make bold choices. Policies can be written on paper. Fines can be enforced by law. But the true secret of Kigali cleanliness lies not only in the government, it lies in people themselves. In many cities around the world, when the garbage piles up, the blame is quick. That is the government job. But in Kigali, the mindset is different. Cleanliness is seen as collective duty, a part shared by every citizen. At the heart of this culture is Umuganda. From gathering in groups, sweeping streets, cutting grass, and clogging drains, repairing schools, or planting flowers. It is not just an activity, it's a ritual of unity. Neighbors work side by side, young and old, rich and poor. Even government ministers and soldiers join hands with ordinary citizens. For Rwandans, Umuganda is more than cleaning. It's a symbol of solidarity, a reminder that after darkness of 1994, the nation promised itself a new way of living, where order, discipline, and dignity are shared responsibilities. Ask a Rwandan why Kigali is so clean, and the answer is simple. Because it belongs to us, we want our children to grow in a healthy place. We want visitors to see who we really are. And this pride is visible everywhere. You rarely see someone throwing trash on the streets. Not because they fear the fine, but because they know it's shameful. Social pressure is powerful. If someone litters others, we call them out. This is why Kigali feels different. The rules are not only enforced from above, they are lived from below. They are woven into a culture, into a daily behavior of ordinary people. Cleanliness here is not just a government program, it's a way of life. A quiet pride carried in every bloom, every planted tree, every spotless road. Kigali cleanliness is not just about brooms and laws. It is also a result of careful planning and smart design. The city was not left to grow wide. It was shaped with intention. The layout of Kigali feels different from many African capitals. Streets are wide, neatly paved, and lined with flowers and trees. Roundabouts are not just traffic circles. They are living gardens, decorated with sculptures and manicured lawns built in code and strict, which means houses, shops, and offices follow a clear order. Chaos is kept outside the city's gate. Waste collection too is organized. In most neighborhoods, garbage trucks pass on the schedule. Public bins are common, and dumping trash in random place is almost unheard of. The government even works with private companies to recycle and manage waste, turning Kigali into one of the most environmental conscious cities on the continent. Transport is another piece of the puzzle. All the smoky buses and broken down taxis are slowly disappearing. Instead, modern buses, motorcycle taxis with helmets, and even electric vehicles are being introduced. The goal is not just a clean street, but a clean atmosphere. But behind this urban order lies a bigger dream image. Rwanda is branding safe as the Singapore of Africa, a country of discipline, efficiency, and modernity. Kigali is the face of that dream. The city hosts international conferences, business summits, and global leaders. The spotless streets are the only way for Rwandans, but also for investors. For visitors, the cleanliness inspires confidence. It tells them this is a place that takes itself seriously. This is a country ready for the future. Kigali's urban branding is not an accident. It is a strategy, one that has turned the city into a symbol of pride, Africa, and model of what disciplined leadership and collective responsibility can achieve. Kigali City is not just about a clean street. It's about something deeper. It's about a nation that refused to let its past define its future. After the devastation of 1994, Rwanda had every reason to collapse, but instead, it chose a different path. A path of order, unity, and discipline, and Kigali became the shining face of that transformation. Today, the city beauty is not measured only in flowers and untidy roads. It is measured in the dignity of people who decided to rebuild their home, brick by brick, broom by broom. It is measured in a culture where cleanliness is not just about hygiene, but about respect. Respect for community, for the nation, and for the generation to come. But as Kigali rises, it rivers with a bigger question. If one city in Africa can achieve this level of order, why not others? Is Kigali unique because of its size, its history, and its leadership, or could Lagos, Nairobi, Kinshasa, Johannesburg, all our great African cities embody the same discipline and pride? The truth is, Kigali has shown the world that is possible, that Africa's cities do not need to be defined by cows, but can be symbol of beauty, order, and hope. And so we ask you, what about your city? Do you believe the Kigali model could work where you live? Or do you think it requires something special that only Rwanda has? If you enjoyed this journey into the story of Kigali, don't forget to like this video. And in the comments, share your thoughts, because the future of Africa's cities might be just beginning with a conversation like this. Cheers.